Hi, good evening everyone. Today I will be discuss a short topic of excretion chapter from class 11, which is a very interesting topic. If you know the details mechanism of micturition, I will be cover the process of micturition. If you learned how this mechanism exactly takes place in our body, then you will be, I think, you'll be happy. So let's start. So what is micturition? What is the process? So if we talk about the process, it is a process of urination by which urine is released from the urinary bladder through urethra. So this process is controlled under nervous system. It's controlled under nervous system, that is central nervous system. So what is micturition? Micturition is a process of urinations by which the urine which is temporarily storage inside the urinary bladder is released from the urinary bladder to the outside the body through the urethra. It is controlled under the nervous system. The nervous system which is specially involved in this particular mechanism is the medulla oblongata of the central nervous system region. The medulla oblongata of the central nervous system part. I will draw a figure, then we will be understood the exact mechanism of that particular process. So let's see that process. So first of all, I will draw a figure. So let's mark the figure. This is the urinary bladder, and the red color portions that I marked, that is located inside the urinary bladder, is the stretch receptor. It has the capability of stretchability by which it can extend the size of the urinary bladder. receptor, and this is the urethra, and there is two sphincter is located. Outer sphincter, so let's write it in the down portion. Outer sphincter, which is under the voluntary control, inner sphincter, which is regulated involuntarily. And this is the urethra. This is the storage urine. So let's see the mechanism, how it is controlled under the nervous system, how it is regulated through the nervous systems. So let's see. Autonomic nervous system and somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system, it has also two regions, that is parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is regulated voluntarily. Its actions are controlled voluntarily, and it is involuntary action. It is regulated by the involuntary mechanism. Its parasympathetic nervous system works during the normal situation. Sympathetic nervous system works during the emergency situation. This mechanism is happened in every parts of the body where sympathetic nervous system is involved. It works only during the emergency situation. It always ready to fight the situations which is against the body. So somatic nervous system, it has two actions. One is contract stage, another is the relax stage. Let's see the mechanism. First I write here, just 1 minute. Let's see. So how this mechanism exactly happened in our body? First of all, if we talk about the urinary bladder, the urinary bladder has a proper size, it has a fixed size and shapes. That's why it can storage sufficient amount of urine that is filtrated by the kidney. if I say in our body the total filtrations that takes place by the kidney, it should be released in a day in 1 times. It's exactly not possible for the body to complete that process, because urinary bladder has a proper shape, so it cannot store extra amount of excessive amount of urine inside it. So that's why the urine that is storage inside the urinary bladder, it should be removed from the body time to time according to the situations of the body and according to the mechanism of the body. So let's see what happened if we face a abnormal situation, that means a emergency situation. For example, if you are inside a classroom, your teacher, you want to go to washroom for the urinations, but your teacher does not allow you to go to the washrooms to clear that process. So what you should do at that particular time period? So you must be try to resist that particular mechanism at that particular time. So otherwise you have no options. So your teacher does not allow you to go to outside the rooms, or if you have to need to sit inside the room at that particular situation, you have to need to resist that particular mechanism. That means you have to need to prevent that particular mechanism for a shorter time period. So until the normal situations is occurred. So if the excessive amount of urine is comes to the urinary bladder, at that particular time the stretch receptor which is present inside the urinary bladder, it has it should be stimulated, and then it receives a impulse and transmitted to the central nervous systems of the brain. Once the stretch receptor are stimulated, then it should be, this impulse is transmitted to the central nervous system. It transmits a signal by which it tells the central nervous system of the brain, which is mainly, then central nervous system transmit that particular signal to the medulla oblongata. Once the signal coming to the medulla oblongata, it must be say the stretch receptor, you just wait, I involve that particular mechanism, just wait. So once the medulla oblongata is once the signal coming to the medulla oblongata, then it has two options. Either it can inform the autonomic nervous system, otherwise it can the somatic nervous system. But autonomic nervous systems works involuntarily. It does not hear what the situations is. So that's why. So one option is somatic nervous system, which is regulated voluntarily. So that's why medulla oblongata reach to that somatic nervous systems, and also the outer sphincter, that is the part of urethra. So outer sphincter, what is sphincter? Sphincter is a kind of smooth muscle cell which can regulate the mechanism of micturition process. At that particular cases, it control the micturition process. Otherwise, you can see that there are lots of sphincter that works in our body. You will be read so many sphincter in the digestion chapter. So here the sphincter which is involved, that control the micturition process, that is located in between the junction of urinary bladder and urethra, which control that particular process. Outer sphincter, which is under the voluntary control, and inner sphincter which is controlled the involuntarily. So at that particular situation, when our body in the emergency conditions, emergency situation, so central nervous system stimulate the autonomic sympathetic nervous system of the autonomic nervous system, because it is works on the emergency situation. So it has sympathy. It can when it found a situation that at that particular time period sympathetic nervous systems were well informed about that particular situation. It tried to control the situation, handle the situation. So as the signal coming to the medulla oblongata, so it should be reached to the sympathetic nervous system, which is a part of the autonomic nervous system. As the information coming to the sympathetic nervous system, so it is stimulated the stretch receptor to extend its size what is possible, मतलब जितना हद तक हो सकता है तो उतने हद तक उसका जो एरिया है उसको वो स्ट्रेच करके यूरिनरी ब्लैडर का जो साइज है वो बढ़ा सकता है. सो सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम allow the stretch receptor to extend its size or shape how much possible. After that, as the stretch receptor stretch the area of the urinary bladder, at that particular time period, the urine which is filtrated by the kidney is storage inside the urinary bladder because of the increase of its size. At that particular time, two mechanisms are involved. One is sympathetic nervous system is involved. At that particular time, you also find that the somatic nervous system which control the outer sphincter which controlled by the voluntarily, it should be activated. The inner sphincter, it has no responsibility. It can allow the urine to pass it, but outer sphincter try to resist it, try to prevent it for releasing it for some time. So that's why the sympathetic nervous system and the somatic nervous system which contract the outer sphincter, and at that particular time you can see that urinary bladder extend its size and the outer sphincter try to close it. That's why the urine cannot pass through the urinary urine cannot pass from the urinary bladder to the urethra because of the closing, or you can see contract of the outer sphincter. So at that because of the combination of the two mechanisms, the micturition process or process of the urination will be stopped. So how it can be micturition process, how it will be started? Once the situation is normal, teacher, the period is over, the teacher go outside the classroom, then you must be feel you are now relaxed, you are in free mode. So at that particular time you just go outside the room and complete that particular process. When the situation is normal, at that particular times the parasympathetic nervous system is involved. It's ready during the normal situation, but it is not work under the emergency situation. As the normal situations is occurred, the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, and at that particular time period, the somatic nervous system which is that control the outer sphincter, it should be relaxed. So it allow अब ये अलाउ करेगा कि अब बाहर रिलीज करना ही है, अब सिचुएशन सारे नॉर्मल हो गया, अब कैसे भी करके इसको छोड़ना ही है, बॉडी से बाहर रिलीज करना है. सो द पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम्स and the somatic nervous system which relax the outer sphincter. Inner sphincter is involuntary, it is always open, so it does not it is not efficient mechanism to control that particular process. So outer sphincter will be at that particular time period, outer sphincter should be in the relax mode and parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So because of the combinations of the two mechanisms, the process of micturition will be started. So I think the whole process of the micturations will be understood. So thank you.